What's up, y'all? And welcome back to the Reality Kingdom. My name is Pharaoh, and we're back, I think. Let me tell you a story. Today, I woke up, and if you don't know, I work from home. What working from home entails is the Wi Fi. All day, I've been working from home on the Wi Fi. On another system, get this, while I'm working on that other system, on this current system that I'm on, I've been watching RuPaul's Drag Race all day. Considering that my Wi-Fi could have went out all day while working, why the fuck does it choose to go out now? Somebody's fucking with me. And I don't know who the fuck it is. Anyways, I'm back to talk to you about The Amazing Race, episode motherfucking 3. We're here for good. Like Wicked. Anyways, as I was saying, I wanted to enjoy this episode, but my sisters, Courtney and Jasmine, no, my Shayla, no. And I'm so sick of rooting for the Black Queens and then the Black Queens fucking losing. And I want to blame the show somehow, some way. I'll figure it out. Give me a second. But other than the show being the problem, the truth of the matter is, I don't know how Courtney and Jasmine went home because no shade. They were at 6th place at the beginning of this leg, and they was just, I don't know, they were just moving too slow for me, honey. I was like, damn, get to it, queens. But these my queens, so I'm gonna let them go. These my queens, these my girls. They don't play pretend. Okay, so I'm gonna let them go. But then last season, we had the out-of-towners, and I'm like, out-of-towners, lock in. And they wasn't locking in. This is the true issue. The true issue is, and you know, they actually mentioned it this episode. Melinda and Erica and Pops and Jeff, they made the comment, we the only old people left in the game, so of course we're going to help each other. And I think that's what pisses me off. That's what really pisses me off. They be getting these 20-year-olds and these 25-year-olds and these 19-year-olds, and Han and Holden are fresh out of high school. Bernie and Kerrigan are fresh out of college. Carson and Jack is 20-something. They might not be. The point that I'm trying to say is, I feel like, get me some bodybuilder ass. Like Jonathan got this body of God. Marcus chiseled down. Nick and Mike are big and brolic. Like Alyssa was like, I played every sport in the book. I need y'all to give me some real youthful sporty ass Black queens who play every sport in the book. Now Jasmine did play basketball, so they really should have just had her doing that roadblock, I will say. That's not the point is, save my queens. Fuck. Like next season, I actually know who's on next season. So there is that. But you know what? I'm satisfied. Because next season, I'm going to get exactly what I want. I just feel like they don't get no like they love getting the young, hot, lit, turn, you know, everybody else. But like, give me the young, hot, lit turn. We do marathons and we do all this other shit with the Black queens. Like, that's what I need. Because I haven't been seeing that. No shade. So give me that. Okay, period. Other than that, the episode was actually cute. I like when they have challenges that are actually challenging. Like this episode, this detour, honey, had them all shook, panicking, scared. Like, oh my God. And I loved it. I really, really did love it. I needed that. So I'm here. I'm excited. It was still a good episode. But boom. Period. Ooh, T. Fran said they can't cast the intense Black duo because they'll win too much. And the one time they did, not the one time, but from what I've seen, when the Military Bros won 2 seasons ago, or was that last season? Was that with the Out-of-Towners? Did they just win? Shit, I don't remember. But when the Military Bros won, they ate that shit up. They ate that shit the fuck up. So, yes. No, the detour whooped their ass, y'all. The detour whooped their ass. Mary said, I need for Han and Holden to be the next one out. And honestly, same. Go, bow out. It was this episode, I was like, oh, thank God. They just bow out, queens. do y'all job and lose. They want to fucking catch up. Hunt and Holden are good at that little last minute, let me catch up to the rest of the pack. Hold on. Don't do too much. Don't catch too much up. That was crazy. But we here, child. Let's get into the motherfucking episode for real. Oh my God, this is gonna piss me off. Okay. Here we are. Shout out to Alessandro. Because Alessandro helped me kind of clean this up a bit, right? We have all of their placements for this leg. Green means they did better than last leg. Red means they did worse than last leg. On Brett and Mark, I had this like highlight. I don't know if y'all can tell. And on Courtney and Jasmine, I have this highlight. I don't know if y'all can tell. But what that was supposed to indicate was Brett and Mark actually did the biggest jump of the episode. They went from 9th place to 5th place. And I wanted to shout them out for that because they ate that up. And no shade, Courtney and Jasmine had the biggest fall because they went from 6th place to last. So I kind of want to highlight the teams that do the biggest change, if there is one. And this was a really big one, so I wanted to kind of highlight it or whatever. But period. Oh, and then you see the little express pass for Jonathan and Anna. So those are all the details. Get into it, get used to it. Child Alessandro, please. I will be accepting my 0.05% of ad revenue in the mail. You know what's crazy? I don't think I have that for you. I don't. For free? Please? I don't know. Volunteer? Anyways, the episode. We start off in Osaka, Japan, of course, and they have to travel by bullet train to the city of Kyoto. And they're told that there is an express pass that can be earned on this leg. So this is my thing. Shout out to bullet trains. If you haven't seen, there's a movie called Bullet Train on Netflix. Love the movie Bullet Train on Netflix. Very, very good, very fun, very camp. If you're into campy shit, get into that movie. It's really tea. You can love it. It's very actiony, a little bit of a mystery, very camp. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson's in it. Maybe not Aaron Taylor Johnson. What's that other white boy that looked just like Aaron Taylor Johnson? What's that other white boy? There's another white boy in it. Maybe not Aaron Taylor Johnson. Brad Pitt's in it. You know, it got some people. Get into it. Get into it. It's a good movie. But also, shout out to Bullet Train. I've always wanted to like just ride on a bullet train because I feel like when it comes to public transportation, you know, America, we're very, what is it called? When you capitalistic, super capitalistic. We don't want, for some reason, we do not want public transportation. We don't want it to be easy for people to travel. They want people to spend money on these cars and on these Teslas and on this gas and all this other shit and da 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 da. And that shit pissed me off. That pisses me off. Hey, Will says it's Aaron. I said Aaron Taylor Johnson, didn't I? What was I calling that man? Oh, is it A.A. Ron? That man is not A.A. Ron. And is he the one who's married to the 90-year-old lady? Or is that the other man? There's another man I'm thinking of. White, blonde. He also acts. Girl, I don't know. No, the one the other one I'm thinking of was on Shameless. Or is that Aaron Taylor? Who's the man from Shameless? No, he's also on The Bear. Is that Aaron Taylor Johnson? Oh, it was Aaron Taylor who was. Jeremy Allen White is the three names. They got two first names and a last name. They got three names that they go by. They both white with abs and blonde hair. It's easy to make the slip. But anyways, Aaron Taylor is the one on the movie that y'all don't even give a fuck about. And Jeremy Allen White is the one from Shameless. Right. Girl, I don't know. Anyways, get on the train and do whatever you got to do. Shit, I don't know. Jonathan and Anna are leaving first. And Jonathan, he makes this comment. And I wrote it down because I'm like, this is going to come back and bite him in the fucking booty hole. He says, I'm very sensitive to the heat. So I really, really want to get this express pass for those hot countries. Now, I understand a man sensitive to the weather. My skin is very sensitive to the weather. I get sick every time the season change. It's a lot of sensitivity to the weather. Now, the hot and cold of it all, I feel like be a man. No shade. No shade, because it could be a condition. It could be anything going on. I don't know what's going on in that man's life, but be a man, because if they get to these hot countries, these Spanish countries, and he go get out there acting a fool because it's hot, I'm gonna have to go off on him. I am gonna have to go off on him. So I need him to lock in. I need him to lock in. I heard a lot of people don't like their team. I don't mind Jonathan and Anna. I think Jonathan is clearly intense, but right now he hasn't pissed me off just yet. I'm fine with them. I think they're cute. Maybe they're just attractive. It's easy to like attractive people. I hate to admit it, but it's true. They're cute. And they're cute together. Like, they're so cute and adorable and woo. But he don't listen to her. And I don't like that. We'll get into that later. But anyways, so they get on the trains. They moving forward, right? We get to Kyoto, Japan. And another thing, they mentioned that Kyoto was the capital of Japan. And I'm like, what is the current capital of Japan? Because if Kyoto was the capital of Japan, what happened? Why did they change that? Tokyo is the capital of Japan. Kyoto, Tokyo. They have the same letters. Okay, why was Kyoto not the capital of Japan? Kyoto was the capital of Japan for centuries, but after the Meiji Restoration in 1868, the imperial court and government moved to Edo, which was the renamed Tokyo, making it the new capital. Okay, history lesson. Back in the day, Kyoto was the capital, but all the main government people was like, we finna move to Tokyo, and now Tokyo is the capital. Type shit. Okay, history lesson. Look, and I need y'all out of the chat coming for me. Y'all know I'm not good at history. And you know what's crazy? I got to toot my own horn, because we had a push at my high school, AP U.S. history. I was in every AP class. Don't ever get it twisted. This is not a dummy. Sometimes, but I took AP history knowing I suck at it, right? We have an exam that we can take. And mind you, girl, this is too much information. Anyways, we have an exam. We have to take the AP exam, right? Didn't nobody pass that exam? A few people, a handful. Guess who was a part of the handful? Me! So I don't want to hear it. I don't know what Kyoto. I'm sorry. Anyways, that's where they're at. And they have to go and buy a piece of magic paper. It's called omikuji. To reveal the next location. And they dip the paper in the water and it's magic paper and it reveal the location, right? Boom, 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 boom. This part's easy. They all get it done. The only team that struggled on this part was Courtney and Jasmine. And I'm like, girls, because you remember last leg, they were struggling, or was it the first leg? They were struggling to get a cab. They asked 7 people about a cab. And they revealed that they wasn't showing the people the language of the words that they were talking about. They were showing them the English language, and they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. And now in this episode, they're trying to get a cab. Everyone else is getting a cab. They can't get a cab. And then they're like, okay, let's ask this bus driver what the name of the place is. They didn't even write down the name of the place. My first thought was immediately write down the name because it's a fucking wet piece of paper. Like, what? So I'm not gonna lie, they were getting on my nerves. I was like, y'all need to lock in. This is the Amazing Race. What the fuck are y'all doing? Oh, it done dried up, girl. We gotta re-wet it, put some water on it. Re-wet it? Why you didn't write it down? What's going on? God damn! So that shit pissed me the fuck off. Shout out to Samantha. Samantha says she's a history buff. Needs to be. And this is the thing. I want to get into history and like geography. Like, I find it interesting. So I'm like, let me search for books. When I went to the library, she's a reader too. When I went to the library, I was like, let me go to this like nonfiction section, get me like something about a good little history of a good little collection of people. Girl, but when I was looking at them books was thick. I was like, I'm not gonna read that old shit. Let me get something cute demure. So I ended up getting Frederick Douglass's autobiography. What's the difference? Autobiography, right? Girl, I don't know. He wrote it about himself. So I got his autobiography. I'm scared to read it. I'm scared to read it because you know he was a slave. Like, oh my God, he's gonna be telling us all the tea. So I'm gonna read that. Go to your local library. Don't go on Amazon and buy those banned books. They are banning books. Why are we banning books in 2025? Girl, what the fuck? Banning books. Ban for what? What would ever be the reason to ban a book? Just silly. Anyways, boom, we head to the roadblock. The roadblock is mixed in with the express pass. So one of your team members has to kick a ball 5 times in this little game of kickball shit. It's not even kickball. They're dribbling a soccer ball, and you have to dribble it 5 times with the people who are around you, basically, right? Dribble. What? It's not dribble. What is it called? Kick it up in the air. Practice with it. You know what the fuck they had to do. Shit. And if you want the express pass, you and your teammate have to be the first team to do it. So Jonathan and Anna get there, and both of them decide that they want to try to attempt it so they can get the express pass. And then Carson and Jack get there right after, and they want to attempt to get the express pass as well. So they're both going for the express pass. As they're going for the express pass, Scott and Lori comes. At this point, they're in 3rd place. They come. Scott gets it done very, very fast, and he's like, let's go. They immediately decide that they're just going to go to the next one, and they're not going to try to get the express pass. Scott and Lori are so OP. Like, they're very good at these challenges. The only thing that can mess them up is if they get a challenge that is overly physical, that could like ruin their chances, or if they get a U-turn or a twist happens. Because right now, when it comes to who's good at the challenges, they're the only team that like body every single challenge. It's actually fucking crazy. I love it. Rudy says, who would have done the roadblock between you and Lee? Lee would have did it for sure. Lee would have did it. I think I would have been better. Like I would have got done with it way faster because I play soccer, but I think Lee plays soccer too. Like, girl, kick the ball. So Lee would have did it. It would have been fine. It would have been easy. We would have moved forward. I think we would have bodied this part. And if we got there first, we would definitely try to go for the express pass. But as soon as Jonathan and Anna got it, we would have been out of there. Yeah. It definitely wouldn't have took as long as Courtney and Jasmine. I'll tell you that. No shade. But yeah, Scott and Lori bodied this. They're so fucking smart. And then Scott has the comment. He's like, honestly, it's also psychological because as soon as we leave, the other 2 teams are going to start fucking up because they're going to get nervous. Now, you can't fuck up 2 of the best teams, so they didn't fuck up that much. But he was right. Like, you know, they started to have to rush a little bit. They had to move a little bit faster because now they're not in 1st and 2nd place anymore. They're in 2nd and 3rd place. So, boom. That happens. Jonathan and Anna end up getting the express pass. Shout out to them. Use it wisely, because I could have swore one of these recent seasons, someone got an express pass and like didn't use it smartly at all. They like wasted time at one detour and then use it after they wasted all that damn time. And it's like, no, if you're going to use an express pass, you need to use it before you even start doing whatever the challenge is, period. Can you use express passes on roadblocks as well? Or is it just on detours? I'm wondering. Let us know that, T. Let us know that, T. Let us know that, team. Boom. So that happens. The last couple of teams who get to the roadblock were Courtney and Jasmine and Bernie and Kerrigan, right? Now, at this point, the only team behind them was Han and Holden. I was like, great. Nothing to worry about. Courtney and Jasmine are good to go. They're gonna be fine. As soon as Han and Holden get to the motherfucking roadblock, they finish. I was like, wait, slow the fuck down. And they done passed my 2 queens. God damn it. Han and Holden, and I'll give them their guys. They ate that the fuck. Holden ate that shit up. He it was so fast. I was like, oh my God, this is gonna piss me off. So they get done, and then Bernie and Kerrigan get done, and it's just Courtney. And when I tell y'all, Courtney would have pissed me the fuck off. That's my sister. But if that was Lee acting a fool, I'd have been like, why are you kicking so hard? She was kicking the shit in the fucking air. And I get it. She don't do this shit. She don't kick shit around. But I'm thinking, girl, lock in. Because they had been there for so long. So she wasn't controlling it. No shade. No shade. She was not controlling it. And then when they finally finished, it was sweet because she did have that moment in the car on the way to the detour, where she was talking about how these last couple of years has been really, really hard for her because suddenly her mom got diagnosed with brain cancer, is what it was. Terminal brain cancer. And she had to upend her whole life, go and take care of her mom. It was also sudden, also random. That shit like that shit is scary. The fact that there are so many things that like diseases and conditions that go around that could like immediately change somebody's life, or anything could happen. It's like life is really just fragile as fuck. Go live y'all lives. After this, go do something you scared to do. Go do something you like. Like if you was like, I'm gonna just sit in the house and chill today and just vibe and just what, go get out there and do something right now before you piss me off. Mind you, I'm gonna just sit in the house and chill, but that's not the point. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay. Oh no, I'm gonna go out today. I'm gonna go do something. I'm gonna have fun. And see, and the other thing is, don't have too much fun. Don't be acting a fool and making bad decisions. See, it's a balance. It's a balance. But anyways, we get to the detour. The detour is, and somebody tell me if I'm fucking insane, because watching this show, I thought I was going crazy. Fold it or fling it. Fold it. Build a giant origami crane. Fling it. Use spikes, throwing stars, and a blowgun to hit targets. Immediately fold it. Immediately. 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 Why would I not choose folded? I don't give a. We're folding paper. What the fuck? So maybe I'm crazy and insane, but I would have immediately told Lee we're doing folded. I think Lee would have wanted to do folded too. What the fuck is we throwing shit for? We don't know if we can hit these targets. We don't know what kind of targets they are. We don't know how to throw random stuff. And I will say for me, it's like I can't determine how other people feel about their comfortability with throwing. Because I remember one of these teams said they literally play, I think it was Alyssa and Josiah. They said they literally play darts every day. If you do play darts every day, I get why you would want to do fling it. I get why you would think that would work. But for me, folding paper versus having to throw and aim at something is just so much easier. And then what I always think about with detours is which one can I guarantee finish versus which one is a chance or it relies on something. I cannot guaranteed throw something and aim at all the targets and get it to stick on all the targets. I can definitely fold some paper. Even if I struggle, even if I forget, even if I get confused, I can end up folding that paper. So it wasn't making sense to me. And so many teams chose fling it. I was like, what? So by the end of the episode, wrong. By the end of the episode, everyone chose folded, right? Literally every team had to finish the folded detour because none of the teams could finish the fling it detour. But look at how many fucking teams chose fling it. What is this? 6? This is 6 too damn many. Bernie and Kat, I don't even know what Bernie and Kerrigan were thinking. Nick and Mike, Jonathan and Anna, Carson and Jack, and Scott and Lori, and Alyssa and Josiah. All of these teams show half of the cast chose fling it. What the fuck were you thinking? Are y'all silly? So that was very crazy to me. I did not understand their thinking. And then they all wasted their time. And of course, Scott and Lori, they can do that. First of all, Scott and Lori are very smart because they very quickly changed. Carson and Jack and Jonathan and Anna, it didn't take them that long to change either. But also, all three of their teams were in the top 3. They could take the risk of considering to do fling it because they had the privilege to do that. Alyssa and Josiah, no, you know what? Alyssa and Josiah were there 4th. So I will give it to them too. I see why they decided that. Alyssa and Josiah's problem was they got there, they were struggling, and they never grasped the concept that you cannot miss any of these targets. That alone would have made me be like, we have to leave, because I get it. Landing 3, that is doable. But landing 3 and you only have the 3 chances, that's impossible. And then they had to land 3 of each. 3 of the darts, 3 of the poles, and then 3 of the fucking spinners. What the fuck? Silly. That was just ridiculous. That was impossible. It wasn't impossible, but it's like that was way too. And maybe it's like the way certain people conceptualize things, because I'm a numbers guy. So if me and Lee were out there, I would immediately be able to calculate in my mind the fact that we have to get, what is it, 369, 18, 18 shots in a row accurately thrown. No. The fuck? I would have left immediately as soon as we started. But Alyssa and Josiah, I guess they're both very stubborn. Another thing is they're a little too similar for me, because both of them was like, we're going to get this. And Alyssa was like, I don't think we could do this, but I don't want to leave. And da-da-da-da. Like neither of them were like, we should just leave. It took them 10, 15, 18 attempts before them to both agree on the fact that they should leave. And it's like, y'all should have definitely decided on that way earlier. And that might be the issue of them having similar personality types. Like somebody got to be a little bit more anxious, because they weren't anxious enough for me. And then they were stressing the fuck out, but they just were still doing it. It was very weird. It was very weird. Nick and Mike, same thing. Leave at a point. And I don't know if it's, if you call it stubbornness. Like a part of me feels like they just have stubborn teams. Like and I understand being confident, and I also understand the fear of switching a detour, especially after being there for so long. But I feel like they were too confident. Fuck all of that. We got to leave. But yeah, Nick and Mike, they did have their little meditation moment. That was very sweet. Nick explains that, like, was it Nick or was it Mike? It was Nick. Nick explains that he had got assaulted really, really badly in the past. And after that assault, his mouth was wired shut. Whoa. And he had to kind of figure out a way to kind of like clear his mind throughout that entire process, because his mouth was wired shut for, was it months? For 3 months. So that is, first of all, that's crazy. Like I said, life be life and shit just randomly be happening. So girl, what? But also that is meditating, I feel like is very, very helpful. Like even a lot of like mental disorders, or if you're neurodivergent, or if you're going through a hard time, whatever it is, being able to meditate, it helps your body and your mind, I feel, because it's like calming down your thoughts. 90% of like the stresses and all of the shit you have throughout the day is because you're thinking about it. So it's like if you're able to like control your thinking, then everything else can really flow. So I really do think that was honestly, it's a good strategy. It's a good strategy, because in moments like this, when you are having a bad time and you are having a tough time, taking a breather is probably way more helpful than you would think. So there you go. But yeah, they do be fucking up. What he says, Nick and Mike are always fucking up towards the end of the leg. They actually suck at challenges. There has not been one challenge that they have been good at. Kicking the ball was fine, but no shade, you kicking the ball. So I guess that's the only challenge they've been good at. They are bad at challenges. It's like kind of scary, because they weren't even good at the origami. Which is like, I can't shame them, because they didn't want to do the origami. They wanted to do the throwing, but it's like, you didn't get the throwing. Okay. But anyways, boom. That's how that leg goes. Oh, and then Bernie and Kerrigan go there too near the end of the race. Don't know why they did that, but they left very, very quickly. So at Folded, though, the easier motherfucking, it was so easy. And then watching it, I was like, this is so easy. Just repeat the steps. And once again, I'm very good. I feel like I'm very good at like copying and repeating steps and repeating something back to people. So stuff like this would come easily to me. But I guess for people that doesn't come easy to them, it wouldn't work. But that makes sense why Scott did so well. Scott even made the comment. He's like, this is going to be something that I can really, really do. And I can help guide Lori to doing it. And it's kind of similar to learning the drums, because in a way you have to watch what someone's doing or listen to what someone's doing and repeat it. And people who are good at following directions and repeating the directions are going to really succeed in these type of challenges. And as you see, Carson and Jack did really good at the drums too, and so did Jonathan and Anna. The people who were able to kind of grasp that, I feel like they were able to kind of grasp this. And then the people who were struggling to kind of grasp like repeating things or learning things back, it's like you're going to struggle at anything similar to that. And it's like a lot of people just aren't good at paying attention to detail for some reason. Like, I don't get it. Even Han and Holden, you remember the sumo The sumo was just paying attention to detail. They were struggling on that. And then they got here and they were struggling on this too. Nick and Mike, they got passed up on the sumo rap. And it's like, y'all aren't able to, y'all aren't, their strength is not attention to detail. They don't know how to really calm down and follow directions. I bet they were some badass kids, all four of them. They were some badass kids because y'all, like, they really were incapable of just taking, instructions. No shade, or following the leader. Like, I don't know. Lock in, queens. But yeah, that was very, very crazy. Jonathan was like regretting choosing the detour because Anna, she does origami with her daughter, or her oldest daughter, she said. And Jonathan made the comment, he's like, "Ooh, you can pick the detours from now on. Like, you got it. I trust you." So it's like, that's telling me she wanted to do origami and you decided to do fucking the throwing shit. What? Now, shout out to him for understanding that he was wrong and understanding that in the future he needs to listen to her and let her take the lead sometimes. But you should have already knew that. No shade. But we'll see how that works, because I wonder if she does try to take the lead, will he try to snatch it back? Because I understand being the one who's making decisions, or having one designated person make the decisions, so there's no arguments. But there's times where someone's right and there's times where someone's wrong. So I wonder if that'll come back to bite them if Anna suggests something and then he's not agreeing with it. You know what I'm saying? That'll be very, very interesting. But yes, that was this. This was very cute. And Courtney and Jasmine wasn't getting it either, child. I was like, what the fuck? Because by the end of it, it's just Bernie and Kerrigan, Nick and Mike, and Han and Holden. And Nick and Mike and Han and Holden were struggling really, really bad, but they ended up deciding to work together. So they were kind of giving each other tips throughout. So it helped them finish before Bernie and Kerrigan and Courtney and Jasmine. And then who else worked together? Melinda and Erica. They were helping Pops and Jeff. I really like that. I really, really like that. Josh said, Pops and Jeff be frustrating me. I want them to calm down because they be struggling for no reason. No, I feel like they don't know how to, certain teams don't know how to just focus on the task at hand and breathe. I think Pops and Jeff are kind of thinking this is a race. So they're still racing at the challenge. It's a race until you get to the challenge. Then at the challenge, you need to focus on the challenge, because if you focus on the challenge, you will finish it fast. That's how you race a challenge. And Scott has that down, honey. Like, he understands that you're going fast to get there. And then when you get there, you're focusing on, what is it called? Quality rather than quantity, or something like that, right? So then when you focus on the task, you will be in the lead. But instead, I think they're focusing on rushing. Do not focus on rushing. Focus on the task. You could get it done with one try if you do that. So yes, that's, I feel like, their problem. And then they got some help. I'm glad they got some help. Build these alliances. Them alliances be helping, because Erica was really, really helping them out for real. But yes, Courtney and Jasmine, they wasn't even the last ones there. Surprisingly, they had got there before Bernie and Kerrigan. So I'm like, oh my God, my queens, they're going to make it. They're going to get it done. Han and Holden was struggling bad. I'm like, they're going to get it done. Hell nah. They do not get it done. They lost. It was real bad. It was real sad. I don't even want to talk about it no more. But at the pit stop, Phil does reveal that next leg, there's going to be a twist where, what the fuck is the twist? Oh, one of the teams is going to have the power to determine how much extra work the other teams behind them are going to have to do in the race. Very interesting twist. Never heard of it. I don't remember the name. So we'll see how that goes, because what? It kind of, in a way, I'm like, it kind of doesn't matter, right? Because if they're in first place, they're going to be the first ones to get there. They're the first ones to get there and they like affect everybody else. It's like, I mean, they were already in first place, right? Like, one of these top 3 teams getting it, because they're not choosing one team to do more. They're choosing every other team to do more. So it's like, how does that matter other than to the one team who gets it? Like, I want something that affects some teams, but not all. The fact that it's affecting all teams, they're back on the same playing field. I'm going to have to see how it works, because maybe it works a little bit differently. But I'm just like, they're going to all be on the same level, except one team. So it's like, it's not that big of a difference. It's just one team that gets the advantage. I don't know. But anyways, I guess we'll see what team gets that. That'll be very interesting. And yeah, That was the episode. Cute episode. Bad result. If I had it my way, Nick and Mike or Han and Holden would go home next episode because I'm losing my faves. Courtney and Jasmine was one of my faves. At this point, I love Scott and Lori. Mark and Brett was arguing too this episode, y'all. What was that? What was that? Because Brett was trying to fold the paper. And Mark was like, well, let's go look at the let's just go look at the example. And Brett was like, oh, okay. And Mark was like, yeah, I don't know what you were doing over there. And Brett was like, well, I was just trying to fold it. Clearly, you don't want to help me. And Mark was like, well, no, I just don't want to do it. And when we don't know what we're doing, this is my thing. Brett was literally guessing. He literally said, I think I can figure it out. That's what was fucking up all of these things. Why would you? I don't even understand why you would do that. And I think that's why me and Lee would succeed. Lee would never even I would never even want to do it without knowing what I'm doing. And Lee would never allow that. He would be like, no, you don't know. No, we're going to go look. And then we would go look. I don't understand why you would even consider attempting to wing it as if that's ever worked in Amazing Race history. It could have. But it's like, you can't just go in and wing an origami paper. I'm pretty sure this is what it is. Go look. The example's right there. Like, at a point, that's just laziness. The fuck? And then they went and looked and they got 5th place. Imagine if they did what Brett did. They fucked it up because they obviously didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And then they didn't decide to look until later. Now they have to redo all of the shit they just did wrong. If Mark did go along with Brett, they would not have gotten 5th. They probably would have got 8th or 7th. And it's like, no, we need to focus on doing it correctly. So if Mark can keep Brett in check, then they can have a chance. But if Brett and Mark start arguing again, that's going to be an issue. Because, whoa, that was crazy to me. That was very, very crazy. Josh says, I don't really have any faves yet. Maybe Jonathan and Anna because of Anna. Yeah, I honestly really, really like Scott and Lori because they're underdog visually, like archetypally, they're underdogs. So I really am rooting for them and they're doing well. Other than that, you're kind of right. Like, no one is standing out. I liked Bernie and Kerrigan, but they're doing so bad. I feel like I'm a root for a loser. Can't do that. Samantha says, I think it's like this team has 10% more to do. This team has 50%. Oh, you can allocate what teams are getting extra tasks, how much extra tasks other teams are getting. Ooh, that's nasty. Now, that's a nasty twist. That will be very interesting. If it was me, Carson and Jack, 90%. Jonathan and Anna, you got to do everything. You know, Bernie and Kerrigan, you don't got to do nothing. Han and Holden, let's switch this shit up. I need all of the teams who are at the top to be near the bottom so one of them can go home. I need to knock out a heavy team. And that's what I want from these twists. Because like I said on the first podcast, with Amazing Race, all of the good teams tend to just do good. And there's not really a method to get out your competition unless you add these twists. So hopefully that is a twist that can affect me getting, like, if I was a strategic team or a smart team and I want to knock out a big heavy hitter team, I would do that. So, yeah. Good luck. Ooh. What he said, the team that gets the driver's seat twist is definitely getting the U-turn. That's very true. So this will be interesting. I also like the drama it's going to cause. I'm very excited for the next episode. Get into our other shit, honey. Get into our other shit. We do got Survivor Rewind. Get into our Survivor Rewind. Next episode, we will be watching episode 5 of Survivor Borneo. So definitely get into that. We have other shit coming on. Tomorrow, we're doing the drag race recap. Every Wednesday, we do Survivor Australia and Survivor 48. Every Thursday, we do the rewind and we do the challenge rivals. And then, of course, next week, I'll be back for the Amazing Race. Make sure y'all send in y'all votes for one of these 10 shows we will be covering for our reality rewind series. And then get into the Scripted Kingdom. I did watch Snow White last night. Okay, yeah, I said it right. I did watch that movie last night. So I will be posting a video this weekend of my review. So get into that. And thank you for keeping it real with the kingdom, honey. We out. Bye.